Buenos días a todos. Muchas gracias una vez más por acompañarnos.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you once again for being part of this webinar cycle. Today, we will have an Ask Me Anything section about GeneXus for SAP Systems. First, we will introduce our speakers, and then they will make a brief presentation on the subject. And finally, we will have, as usual, the Q&A session, for which you will have the chance to just open your microphones and turn on your cameras, and just we really want to encourage you to do so, so you can ask questions in real time. Also, there is simultaneous interpretation into English and Portuguese for this webinar, so that we can give you the chance to listen to us in any of those languages. You just need to click on the interpretation symbol, and well, that's it. Without further ado, Luis and Eugenio, the floor is yours. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome, my name is Eugenio García. I work in the development team at GeneXus as product manager of many of the suites products, and in particular with GeneXus for SAP. And Luis will be doing a brief introduction on the subject. Thank you all. Thank you for your time, for being here. My name is Luis Murillo, and I am the product manager for GeneXus for SAP Systems. Just to be aligned, we're going to give you a brief introduction as a framework to tell you a bit about the product, and then, as Aníbal was saying, the most interesting part about this cycle of Ask Me Anything is to hear your questions, hear what you have to say about this, and to the best of our capacities, we will try to answer them. So first of all, let's talk about this GeneXus for SAP Systems product. There is a number of features. This is an array of features that we have in our GeneXus system. This is oriented to the SAP's, the SAP ecosystem. What motivates us and encourages us to think that we have some value to offer to this systems, SAP systems clients ecosystem? Well, allow me to use a particular PPT that was used at the Sapphire event last year in 2020. The chairman of SAP, Hasso Plattner, started his talk by saying, in order to reduce the maintenance of a system such as SAP, you need to develop enhancements to products without touching products. So what we understand is that he meant that the core of our business would be supported in the ERP, SAP, and the good thing is to leave that ERP with its best practices, which is the strongest feature about it. And if you want to innovate on the ERP to try to take our company to what we want to refer to as a smart company, we need to develop satellite applications without touching or changing the ERP, which is a solid block that has solved the main businesses of the company. But we know that there is much room for improvement. So in that slide, if we analyze the slide that you can see in the background, you can see two main things. First of all, that it says the intelligent enterprise is more than ERP. So ERP constitutes the core of a smart company, but there is a great room to make new things. And as part of that suite of products, you see that there is some room to have two circles that it says third party, which refers to applications that are developed by other companies. And this is where we believe that as GeneXus, we have a great opportunity, especially for partners and developers ecosystems. So these features that we call GeneXus for SAP Systems are functionalities, are features of our tool where GeneXus is the core, but we have 5 features or pillars that specifically provide our developers with an easy way of developing in this ecosystem. First of all, we need to extend the ERP of that SAP with a certified connector that we have developed. So interacting with this ERP is quite trivial when you use GeneXus. Additionally, as a database engine, as another database engine that GeneXus supports, we have a HANA database, which is the great memory engine that is offered by SAP, and on which the new ERP version is supported. And well, for GeneXus, you also have support for this database engine. It's the first in-memory database that is supported by GeneXus. As a third pillar of these features, we have that from GeneXus, we can automatically deploy to the SAP Business Technology Platforms, which is basically the cloud of SAP. So any kind of development that you do with GeneXus, well, GeneXus can automatically deploy on the SAP cloud. In the fourth place, and very importantly, we have the fact that we have implemented the Fiori UX, which is the design system for SAP for all the products of its suite. And that for a developer that is going to develop by hand or manually using Fiori, well, they follow a huge design guideline that you need to read in GeneXus with the approach that is based on patterns. So what we did was to implement those patterns. And in order to have a Fiori look and feel in your applications, a developer needs to just basically apply this, and the application that will result will be identical to an SAP Fiori application. And finally, with the machine learning module supported by GeneXus, which allows us to get some solutions in the fields of AI that are completely agnostic of the technology that you could be using in terms of the machine learning technology that the developer feels comfortable with or that the developer wants to use. So this is a solid tool. And what we are focused on doing at the time and looking into the future is basically providing support to our partners and our clients so that they can develop applications by using this tool and getting the best out of it. We have a number of cases. We have, for example, a partner of ours that was awarded by SAP with awards on innovation because of applications that they had developed using GeneXus. First, it was for the Brazilian market, and then for the Latin American region. And this was thanks to an application about plant maintenance mobility. And it was absolutely developed with GeneXus in record time. And as I said, we're really focusing on trying to provide more and more support to our clients so that they can get this kind of solutions by using GeneXus for SAP Systems. Specifically, on top of that support that you get to develop solutions, we are improving the tool to do some technological maintenance depending on the movements that you have. So, for example, in the last upgrades of GeneXus 17, what we did was to provide support to our NetCore generator so that it would also support the database engine HANA and the deploy to cloud that we had it for the Neo SAP platform. Now, you know that SAP changed the cloud and now it's called BTP, which is, it stands for Business Technology Platform. And well, basically what we did was we also changed our automatic deployment so that you can also deploy to this new SAP cloud. And last but not least, we're hearing our clients, we're hearing our customers in terms of their feedback and all the fixes that we can have, all the bugs that we can find, so that we are constantly updating the tool. We believe that the best opportunity is to strengthen our ecosystem so that our partners and our clients can heavily rely on us to develop systems by using GeneXus for SAP Systems so that they can get an advantage from it and innovate on the ERP. And the best way that we find to do this is that clients that work with SAP, they should analyze their business processes as they are today by trying to find some improvements or new opportunities or room for improvement in those business opportunities. When you find room for improvement, then you need to develop that with GeneXus, seeing this as a software package so that you can use it for other companies within the same industry. We have a number of clients that are using GeneXus for SAP Systems to develop applications around the ERP. And in the mid and long term, what we're going to be doing is, as clients need this, we will incorporate new floor plans to our Fiori patterns, giving more power to the OData integration. And we are also working with a new tool that is called SAP Graph. We're doing some research to see how we could incorporate some of this into our tool. So what we offer with our tool is, in a nutshell, we give the SAP clients ecosystem and our partners GeneXus for SAP Systems so that you can develop your applications, GeneXus for SAP Systems. So this is a bit of a presentation, just an introduction to the tool, and a bit of what I wanted to share with you on this Ask Me Anything session. And now it's about hearing you, hearing what you have to say, seeing if you have any questions, any doubts. Feel free to ask as many questions as you want on the topic. And as I said, we will try to do our best to answer them. So the floor is yours. Feel free to ask any questions.
Todos pueden hacer preguntas, todos pueden habilitar su
You
cámara.
can ask your own questions. You can open your cameras, your videos. Feel free to do so.
Hola, buen día. ¿Cómo les va? ¿Me escuchan?
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me? Yes, Mariano, loud and clear. Go ahead. My name is Mariano Ula. I work for ESP. We had a number of meetings with Luis Murillo. Thankfully, we have achieved a lot of things together, but we're having this issue now. We are implementing a web component for SAP UI5, which is specifically a table that replaces the grid. Now, the thing is as follows. When you want to replace the GeneXus grid with this user control or web component, it happens that we need to have the grid control in the design pattern. In other words, we have to leave a grid that is useless, because if you delete it, you get an error and you just can't see the objects anymore. I wanted to know if there is any way around this. I contacted technological support, which is the step that you're supposed to take first, and they said that I needed to use the old user control object, the one that was used, for example, for evolution test. Yeah, exactly, the one before the 2.0 version. Yeah, exactly that one. Yeah, but I don't know if that is what I should be doing, or maybe, you know, if there is any other way to overcome this. Great, Mariano, I understand you out perfectly well. It's very technical. I can't answer that now, but I've jotted down, and I will contact you later just to tell you more about this, if that's okay with you. Yeah, that sounds great. No, thank you for the question. Any other questions from the audience?
Hola.
Te escuchamos, Martín.
Hello, Martin. Yeah, we hear you loud and clear. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so we are working with GeneXus 16 version 11 and the Fiori, it's Fiori 3. We are coming from a migration process, but we're noticing that the pattern is not performing well, and the pages are not very aesthetic. When it's a lot of work by hand on a number of objects for it to look nice. So a developer can just use the entities and apply a pattern and have it looking nice, you know. So I don't know if this is something. No, sorry, question, Martin. When you ask that question, is it because you want to do something different from the pattern, or because you're finding errors in what the pattern is supposed to be doing? Both, actually. maybe we're a bit off the basic style of the pattern. We understand that you need to do some work in that case, but then sometimes, just working with the pattern, having a developer working with the transactions, applying the pattern, and that should be up and running. Well, it doesn't look great. It tends to overlap with, for example, the headings or the footnotes tend to overlap with each other. If you want to merge to get the data into columns, then you have a mismatch between headings and the field. You can't really associate an object to the next button. You need to program that from the event, so that's complicated. Well, in terms of applying the pattern and getting some alignment issues, as you said, we will have to take a look at that specifically because that shouldn't be happening. As far as the other aspect is concerned, if you happen to make any changes to the pattern itself, then that of course is, well, it's, you could expect that, because if you have a different floor plan from the one that is provided by us, then of course, as I said, we are more than open to hearing any feedback and requirements that you may have, and we will try to implement it if we see it fit. But in terms of the error, yeah, do send me a report on this and let's take a look at it together. Yeah. Yeah, we have some reported errors, but we haven't really made any progress with that. I don't know if it's because the version is old, or maybe because I don't know, maybe the fact that we did this migration interfered. Yeah, that may have had any impact. This migration that you're talking about may have. What was the migration from which version to which version? It was from Fiori 2 to Fiori 3. No, but is that a GeneXus Fiori? Or no, it's not a GeneXus migration. Okay. Yeah, that could be breaking things. So yeah, I'll jot it down. I'll take a look at it and I'll reach you later if that's okay with you. Yeah, great. As I said, we noticed a number of things that add up to a number of hours that we are investing, and the pattern ends up not doing what we would want it to do. So yeah, great, Martin. Thanks a lot for your comment. Where should I be reporting this though? On the report an incident. You should report an incident, but anyway, I will reach you personally. But if you can still, follow reports, that would be great, so that we have some backup. I have a question from Xiomara Mendoza, who's telling us a client wants to work with GeneXus SAP. I understand that you need to use IO data. In terms of licensing, I understand that the RFC connector does not work with SAP Business Plan. So wouldn't I be needing, I wouldn't be needing a license for GeneXus SAP Systems, right? And also, how would I work? How should I work if I need to access that AP? If I want to access SAP to get information, do I have to pay? Do you have any penalty? Yeah, that's a lot of questions in one, but we can summarize it in a generic answer. Xiomara, maybe if you want some further detail, you can contact the commercial team and delve into this. But the way to integrate to Business One is via OData. That is the platform provided by SAP Business Plan that it's offered to the clients so that they can develop third-party applications. It is supported on the service layer. It's a layer that is specific for this kind of service. And I think, yeah, and you can't really access RFC. RFC is a protocol just for the SAP ERP, not for Business One. So no, I wouldn't. You wouldn't be using the SAP connector for RFC, but you would be using the Fiori pattern because this has the same design system.
Okay, muchas gracias, Luis.
Okay, Luis, thank you. I just managed to open my mic. I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah, we hear you. Okay, great. Yeah, that was my doubt. So you don't need a license for GeneXus for SAP system, just with a GeneXus developer's license, then you can work with it. Yes, you do need the GeneXus for SAP Systems license for Fiori. Okay, just for Fiori. Okay, but the this license comes with all the connector and all the GeneXus ID, or yeah, for the access to OData, what you're saying is true. It's just GeneXus. OData for Business One has some peculiarities because it needs support in terms of development. And additionally, if you want to use the Fiori pattern for the design system, then you will need a license. Okay, then you need this GeneXus for SAP Systems license, right? To use the Fiori pattern, right? Yeah, yes, exactly. But for this, the commercial team can have a conversation with you in further detail to guide you through it and see what your doubts are and what would be most convenient for you to get for that scenario. Okay. Okay, Luis, great. Sounds great. Thank you. Thank you, Xiomara.
Perfecto. ¿Alguna pregunta del público? Yo tengo algunas
Great.
acá que me han-
Any question from the audience? I have a couple that I got through email.
voy con una de las que tengo por correo.
Okay, I'm going to ask one of the questions that I have by email.
SAP
What SAP ERP versions are supported when you work with the with GeneXus? Well, we support basically S/4HANA, for which we recertified our product, and then going backwards, the SAP ESC from the 6.0 onwards, which are the ones that are basically working still nowadays. It's really, really unlikely that you will find a version before that. What license do you need to work with GeneXus for SAP? Well, we have two modalities. One that is more this is a bit more commercial, but one is a product that is a standalone product, GeneXus for SAP system, that you have a Java generator and the Fiori pattern and the connector and so on, which is basically a GeneXus for this environment. And then you have GeneXus regular with a pack that you can install that enables the features and functionalities that you need to work with this. Yes, Luis, I want to add something. And this works with the current GeneXus licenses that you have nowadays. So the products that Luis was mentioning at the beginning is for people that don't have GeneXus, because then you would have the generator's ID and the connectors and everything to work with the SAP, and then this GeneXus pack that is complementary to the ID and the generators that you already have, and so on. And what Xiomara was saying, well, these are two different products. You have GeneXus for ERP, which is one product, and GeneXus for Business One is another product with another price and other conditions, because they don't deal with the same things, especially commercially speaking.
Ok, Gerardo. Entonces entiendo que hay un producto.
Okay,
para-
Gerardo. So I understand that there is a product for SAP Business One. Yes, indeed, and another one for GeneXus for the ERP. So if the client is working with SAP Business One, then you should get that license. Okay. Do you get the Fiori pattern with this license? Okay, so that is the one that I need to get. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Bueno, sigo yo con otra.
Okay, another question.
No sé si lo había hecho, pero bueno. Del lado de SAP ERP, ¿es necesario tener licencias?
With SAP ERP, do you need to have any additional license to use one application that was done with GeneXus for SAP? Excellent question. No, you don't need to have additional licenses. The thing is as follows. When an application, a third-party application, connects to SAP, the user will be using one SAP license. If it's more than one user, they will be using more than one SAP license. But this is one of the benefits of developing applications for third parties, that SAP greatly depends on markets and so on. But in many markets, there is a licensing way that is called concurrent licenses that are precisely thought for this kind of applications, through which a cluster of users for third-party applications, a group of users for third-party applications can reuse the same SAP license, which is a significant reduction in terms of the number of licenses that you need to use in order to work with third-party applications. But that really depends on the market and the business model for that market. But what is certain is that you will never need more licenses than if you were ERP users. You will need the same amount or less. Maybe this was answered already, but perhaps you can add something. Is it possible to integrate with SAP EX1? Yeah, that's what we talked about with Xiomara. Yeah. Is the S4 version for the partner cloud supported through the connector? Yes, it is. You have the S4 HANA version, whether it's on premise or on the cloud. On premises or on the cloud. I don't know if they're talking about the ERP version, which is supported, or whether they're talking about the SAP cloud, which is what I was saying at the beginning. There is automatic deployment to that cloud as well, with any of your GeneXus applications. Yeah, this is probably about the ERP because it says for HANA. Yeah, yes, it is supported. And a final question here. Can you deploy applications integrated with GeneXus on SAP Business Technology platforms? Can you? Yes, exactly. That is what we talked about. It's the deployment is automatic. In terms of the previous question, in terms of talking about the concept, this client that got the innovation awards by SAP, this person had the product certified precisely with an S4 HANA on cloud. Okay, very good. Any questions from the audience? Hello, this is Stanislao. Hey, man, long time no see. Yeah, long time. Do we have any roadmap for the Fiori pattern, where this is going, what improvements will be coming up next? I've seen things not really moving lately. Yes, it's true. That's what I was saying. We have what we're doing for now is listening to our clients, to our customers that are suggesting any necessary floor plans according to their needs. But before we move on to the direction of adding new floor plans, what we're doing now is precisely we're focusing on getting success stories from our clients. So as part of this battle, we will have new floor plans that we will deem necessary. And as I said, we are more than open to hearing suggestions from you. And as we see that there is a need for that, we will implement it. Yeah, I'm mainly talking about features within the pattern that, some other patterns already have some of these features in terms of the competitors, Google Plus, for instance, and maybe, the SAP Fiori floor plans in some cases are just like falling behind. I don't mean adding new floor plans, whether it's a grid based on EST or on data providers. Well, but grids based on SDT, that is incorporated. It's not in the first version, but you do have that in the last version. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can't remember that exactly, but so we can maybe report these bugs that we found, or these these ideas for improvement to help the product move forward. Is that okay? Yeah, I mean, any kind of feedback would be more than appreciated. Anybody else? Any other question from the audience? Any comments? On the chat, you will find some deep dives that we have recorded that are about SAP, one of state-of-the-art for SAP and GeneXus for SAP Systems, and the other one that is Fiori Design System, productivity for SAP integration. These are two very interesting tools that I'm sure you could take a look at and get some better insights. Yeah, I wanted to just say something about what Stanislaw was talking about. The Fiori design system as such, as defined by SAP, has not really made any progress. It hasn't really evolved. They got to a design system that has a user speed and an aesthetic that are well defined. And basically what they have done is they rolled out all of that in all the products. So if you want to do anything on the SAP Cloud, any extension that you want to do on their tools, everything looks the same and everything is based on the same design system. As a matter of fact, we have got some comments in terms of a lot of things are migrating to this launchpad concept within the cloud. Next week, we will precisely be taking a look at this evolution, because nowadays our pattern, on top of the functionalities and the features, if you compare it to other patterns, I think that our pattern comprises a reasonable number of templates that are offered by Fiori as a design system. So we will be taking a look at that evolution on the ASAP side. And in terms of features, yeah, of course, feel more than free to give us some feedback, and we will assess each case and take everything into account. I think that we need to just separate things here. On the one hand, you have the kind of interface that you can get, and on the other, you have the patterns features in terms of what's easier, whether or not you can apply it to an SDT or a data provider, even though that is something that you can already do. Well, things of that sort.
¿Alguna consulta, comentario al respecto?
Okay, good. Comments, questions? We have a technical question on the chat by Jorge Salazar. I've been trying to do some reverse engineering on an SAP HANA database, and I get a Java .3 error. Okay, Jorge, yeah, we need to take a look at that. Do send us that question. You have to use database reverse engineering, which is our tool to do any kind of reverse engineering to any database engine. HANA is another one. And this should be working well. You shouldn't be getting an error, but that doesn't mean that maybe, you know, that there's a bug or something. So if you could report this, Jorge, we will take a look at that. Hello, Luis. It was me who asked the question. What would be the email address to which I should contact you? Have you reported an incident to support? Okay, please do that. I will get it directly. Just report it as an incident and I will take a look at it. Okay, great. Thanks a lot. Hey, Luis, also to get a bit more information about the licensing scheme, should I be sending you an email as well? Yeah, okay, great. Thanks.
Perdón, Xiomara, ¿enviaste o vas a enviar?
Sorry, Xiomara, have you sent that or are you going to send it? No, I will do that. Yeah, but what the client wants is to develop, as I said, GeneXus with Business One. So yeah, it's about that. Yeah, maybe there, Gerardo, I don't know if you're still online. Can you maybe tell Xiomara how to contact us to get more information about licensing? And she was talking about reporting an incident. No. Maybe just directly with Jaime or with myself. Yeah, she should. How should she do that? Xiomara, Jaime or myself, we will reach you directly and you can answer with any questions. Okay? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I'll send an email. Great, thanks. Any other questions or comments? Okay, great. So if we have no questions, comments, we will give this webinar session a closing. Also, remember that a lot of the doubts that you may be having, it's good to ask them on the Stack Overflow forums. So we have nothing left but to say thank you for joining us on this session. Keep in mind that this will be uploaded on GeneXus /live. You will have all the information about this GeneXus live sessions. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next session. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.